There was a bench sitting here, or a sawhorse, it's over there, was sitting here. I was sitting on it, bawling my eyes out. I was crying because I blame myself for not getting up that morning to see the kids. Because if I would have got up, this wouldn't have never happened.
Okay, so there's Fluffy, right? But is that the real Fluffy? Is that the real dog? Because now I'm paying a little bit more attention to this. I want to know what dog was actually there. Oh, wait a minute.
So this is the patio.
This is the patio door
that Jack and Lily would have.
that Jack and Lily came out of.
She's got so much her driveway needs a pool. What did her dad
Okay, I was up at 6 o'clock, sat in there and had my
What
tea,
did he put Jack and Lily through?
and then on
They said
Facebook,
when Daddy was
7 o'clock,
arrested, they found him on the
I get up,
trail
I'm over here, fed my chickens,
in front of helicopters running. Now that Janie's got a ring, Fluffy's never gonna be the same.
Why was she so concerned about the RV searching? Or was there something else hidden in the background lurking? How did she know where everything took place? She can lie all day and keep a straight face. Hayley and Belinda remember a different dog. That's now been removed and deleted from the call log. She goes on and on about Tucker's barking, but Fluffy was quiet through the CBC's talking. How would this have stopped if she'd just gotten up? Was she raking the drive to remove the blood? Or does she look for support for her hate of Lily screaming? Drifting in and out of sleep, it is Janie who's dreaming. What if Jack ran into trouble inside of the house? And when D&M realised they sent Lily out, and when Lily started screaming, she turned a blind eye. She knew Tucker was dangerous, but she let him walk by. Piece by piece, the puzzle is revealing its picture. It's contained in the language and without conjecture. I put my Platts goggles on and examined the info, and I let the words take me wherever they would go. I watched the dots connect up to a new possibility. Tucker caused harm to precious young Lily.
my brother, Ron, called me at 8:48 and asked me if I wanted to go to town with him. And I said, no. I said, I'm staying home. I said, I'm going back to bed. Okay, I went and I laid down. Next thing you know, the dog started barking and the kids were out in the yard. Now, if you can see, there's two swings where the kids play. My bedroom is right there. I heard the kids. This is where the kids' swings are. This is where they always play. That's where I heard them. And I can hear everything in that trailer. If two kids get out of a fence, and Jack and Lily are all the time yelling, especially Lily, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go, Jackie. It's all I hear out here. When the kids get out of the fence and come out through here, I would have heard them yelling, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard is I heard Daniel yelling. He was yelling for Jack.
I didn't hear anything. And the next thing I heard.
And Lily. I didn't get up because I thought he was yelling for Jack and Lily to be in the house.
They found him on the pipeline trail. In front of helicopters running. Now that Janie's got a rate, Fluffy's never gonna be the same.
Janie's BS is confusing the story. Her claims of knowledge are banal and boring. And what about the cars of the pipeline boys? Hayley said Chance's car made a lot of noise.
I haven't forgotten.
Maybe 6-speed explains a 5. Didn't need gear 6 on that fateful night. Even Hayley's story keeps chopping and changing, protecting Malaya by rearranging. Did she see Danny doing rugs in the bathroom? She's trying to walk it back, but her words leave no room. Did Danny really hear the kids getting marched at the front? Was her search in the woods just a PR stunt? Is she the dumbest person alive in this world? world. She believed that her lies will never unfurl. Doing Facebook Lives, this has gone beyond silly. Not a nice word to say about Jack or Lily, the bitter old angry trite hillbilly. If Jack and Lily were the focus of Janie's attention, I wouldn't write these songs, I would not need to mention that victim blaming is the trait of the family. As the truth burns a hole in her manifest destiny, she obstructs the justice and becomes an accessory of two missing children long after the fact. She has made a choice from which there's no walking back.
So the next thing you know, I was come out of the trailer after I heard Daniel, about I'd say 10 minutes after I heard him, I come out of the trailer. I opened up the door, was standing here, Malaya was standing right here with Meadow on her hip, and I come out and I said, "What's up?" She said, "Jack and Lily are missing." I said, "How long?"
Wow.
She said, "About 20 minutes." I closed the door, got my boots on.
This is the hardest song to get through because I want to stop all the time, and now I'm doing it. So from day one, the Darren Geddes thing, he's an idiot. He only repeated, I believe, what Daniel told him. I'll get more into this.
Come out here, ran up in the woods. Right up here.
So this is the dog that we have been seeing.
That's Fluffy.
A little black and white dog. This one.
That's Fluffy, people. I don't care what
Seems
anybody calls
mild-mannered. So did she have a different dog before that was really, really aggressive? Meaning a dog that
Look at this little thing.
right now
Look at him, how well
he
behaved.
was there instead
Look at
of
him.
this one,
He's not barking at anybody.
would be almost on attack of the intruders in the house, because
Look at
I
that.
don't see this one being
Strangers
You know
filming the property.
And so tell us why
Fluffy does nothing.
we've heard about the patio door.
Because everybody's saying on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok that the patio door,
Where's your concern for Jack and Lily? What about all the people online?
makes a noise.
Priorities, priorities, priority. What's her priority? Her priority is to tell you they could have gotten out. Don't let the door keep you from. Why do people not believe me? Oh, because of the door. No, the door was just something that people, a lot of people who don't really understand how to get to a case, well, they pointed out something that could be an issue. Of course, the kids never went out of the door. But in Janie's simple mind, they think, oh, the only reason they don't believe me is because they think you have to understand something here. Maybe you need to bang your head against the wall a couple of times to get into the head of Janie's. Maybe in order for you to understand Darren better, you need to bang your head against the wall, or I don't even want to say what else people could do to lose a couple of brain cells or send a couple of brain cells on vacation, if you will. But if you're really freaking dumb, you will understand both of them very well. Darren and Janie, you will be able to, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, people, because like people think that it's too loud, right? Yeah, glass loud. Okay, got you. Wait, let me look this what's it called? WD-40? No, I'm keeping, you know what? I keep mixing up the tax form and that thing that you buy to make. So, yeah, WD-40, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. So, let's put it there and let's make the door very, very slide, very silently. And then people are going to believe me. Well, if you're a complete moron, that's, of course, how simple-minded you're going to approach this case. You're not going to realize that there are so many more these people, man. These people are something else and even less. And another thing, as I just said, this dog, this little doggy, look at him. Look at him. Let's go back a little because that is blending out here. This doggy, there's the camera crew. There are all kinds of strangers on his property. On his property? Is that really your dog? Where did this little thing come? Because if you had two dogs and you had this very loud, violent one that was hurt by Belinda and others, who said, "Where's the what is the other dog in your house?" Oh no, that must be from the neighbor's house. Did they get along? Would they have gotten? Was Fluffy there? Was Fluffy there on day 1 and day 2 of the search? That's what I want to know. Was Fluffy there? Because the other dog, from what I understand, from what this dog could have been, maybe, just maybe, wouldn't have gotten along with Fluffy. So did she just figure, I'm just gonna get rid of the Tucker and then I'm gonna get Fluffy and then people gonna forget Tucker was there. When there's something to this, man. You, Janie, your lies about your other dog or the other dog. Something about that stands out. And when you were raking, the first thing you said to Belinda was, I was filling in potholes. That goes deeper than just raking the surface. Was there blood and was it raining? And did you try to move some odor in case they were going to be cadaver dogs? Or I don't know. But there is a lot of now linguistic indication that something much more took place. And that Janie McKenzie was really, really involved for a real, real good reason. And again, this, I believe, was, well, you're going to get to it right now. But let me ask you a quick question. How are you? How would you answer this question? Well, of course, it's possible that you know, when people ask, hey, how are you? It can be, hey, what's up? Hi. Something like that. If somebody comes to you and you haven't seen a person in a while and you were what I mean is, if somebody that you haven't seen for a while comes to you and says, hey, whatever you, Chris, your name is, so how is everything going? How are you doing? If you tell me, well, everybody has problems, right? Or something like that. Or, life is life. Or the moment that you need to bring in a comparison and you feel the need to say something like, we have up and downs like any couple, right? How are you doing? Well, everybody has problems, So what you're telling me are two different things. Number one, you're telling me you're having problems. Number two, you're telling me that you feel a need to compare those problems to average problems. You are telling me that to compare them to people's, to everybody's problems or whatever the norm is in your eyes, you are actually minimizing. So the problems that you have are actually way beyond, or at least quite a bit beyond, what people would consider average issues. Because if all you had were average issues, you would probably say, I'm doing well. If you said, I'm doing great, well, that would be you would either be doing great or you would be not doing well at all and feel the need to convince as much as possible that you are not doing badly. And then intention will be detected. Are you trying to make everything look better than it was or is? Or are you a complainer? Because, of course, there are people who like to complain. You ask them, how are you doing? How am I doing? Oh my God, what do you mean? What do you mean, how am I doing? Life is horrible. But these are not the people that will ever compare their lives to average people. If you tell somebody like that, well, if you get sick and tired of them complaining and say, look, everybody has problems, right? They will get angry. What do you mean? Don't you listen to me? I have bigger problems than anybody. So in the case of Daniels, should I repeat what I just said? Let me slow it down for a little bit. Let me make sure that you guys get what I'm saying here. Remember your own answers when people ask you, how are you doing? Have you ever done really shitty at one point? And it doesn't matter in which way, in a way that it impacted you. Meaning, have you done really badly, either emotionally or financially or physically, you were sick or anything, and you don't want somebody that you run into who you know from college or whatever to know that. You don't want this person to see what state you are in. You're embarrassed and you don't want to be, you know you have a lot of old friends together mutually, and you don't want people to say, oh my God, I saw Linda and she looked horrible. Really? Oh my God, what happened? You don't want that. You want to be, you know what I mean? If you say, well, everybody has problems. That's actually a very, very telling thing to say, right? You're having problems and you are trying to minimize and to compare what the problems are to so-called average problems that people have. It's minimizing, and that indicates that whatever you're going through, whatever you're dealing with, is a lot worse. Listen to what they're telling you. Remember what you have answered people in different situations and what people have answered you. Because when people say, well, everybody has problems, then if you say, yeah, I know, don't I? I'm going through this. My kids, both my kids, failed the grade, and my wife is cheating again, or whatever, man. Then they want to top you, maybe. Then they feel comfortable and say, oh, really? Okay, let me tell you what's really going on in my life. Let me tell you how much we are in debt, or whatever is going on. You know what I mean? When people minimize like that, when they got a chance, if they feel safe to talk, it will be a Pandora's box opening up where you're going to be overwhelmed. And by the way, I think most marriages are not that great. I mean, in recent surveys, married people were asked, do you feel like you have settled in life? And they asked the question, in your career, with your job, in marriage, with whatever partner you chose. 75% when asked, do they feel like they have settled in their partnership or marriage, said yes. They didn't say, oh, I am so lucky to have this person. I'm so happy to have this person. I can't believe this person, such a wonderful person, would marry somebody like me, a fool like me. No, that's not what they said. They said, I settled. Are you happy? Are you well, some are very unhappy, but some say, no, it could be worse, right? Would you want to be in a marriage like that, where your partner thinks it could be worse and that's what keeps you together or keeps him or her with you? I think it's just a horrible scenario, to see myself in, where almost you're a burden to somebody and you don't want to, where I mean, I don't know what, and these, what people complain about each other. It's, the woman often will say something, yeah, she's wondering what it would be like to have somebody who's able to offer her more or whatever it is. And he will say, there are, many women that he finds more attractive, and it's just God, there's so much misery, man. Don't you think? Like, if you go, and I'm pretty sure that the types of people that listen to my channel, I think that if I did the survey right now, did you settle in life? Say yes or no. Feel free to do that. Do you feel in live chat, do you feel like you have settled in life? Simply yes or no. And I will understand if you would answer yes, but do not feel like doing it. I completely understand you're not doing it. I just feel like I want to give the people, all of us, sort of a voice, because it always depends on whom do you ask, where do you ask. So the types of people that know how to think for themselves and enjoy thinking for themselves, they may not be as likely to be able to handle or settle or be in this kind of limbo where they know something better could be out there for me, but I'm not going to try. I'm going to, you know what I mean? So a lot of people will tell you when you ask them, how are you doing? And they will ask you, how are things with your wife? Or how are things with your husband? Great. Really? Remember Scott Peterson, after he murdered his wife, Lacey, and their unborn son. What was your marriage like? Glorious. That's what he said. Glorious. Glorious. Can you overdo it any more than that? Well, if somebody says, yeah, my marriage is great, then you let them talk. And then it depends on upcoming statements and leakage, where either in some cases it is great, chances are it's the opposite. So what did you do yesterday? Or what did you do today? Oh, and we just before work, yeah, we had breakfast. And what you want to know? Okay, yeah, what did you have? Well, I had and the usual couple eggs. Again, she burnt my toast as usual. Something like that. You let people talk, they will leak. Especially when you just said something like, my marriage is great, and it isn't. At that moment, we seek emotional balance. Lying isn't easy, because lying is sort of like prostituting ourselves. Who are you for me to waste my energy lying on? Why do I need to lie to you? What is so important? Lying takes energy. Lying is degradation to a degree, but it's also normalized in society. because a lot of people are very, very successful who lie on a regular basis. And for example, for me, so-called political humor has never been funny, ever, ever, ever. Because to me, it's actually normalizing, or lawyer jokes or something like that. I don't find them funny at all, period. Because it's really normalizing something that isn't, that is just that, it's normalized. If something has been normalized, it means it wasn't normal to begin with. And it wouldn't be normal to begin with because it's not normal. It goes against our human nature. It goes against our human nature, even though to the outside people are portraying themselves in the respectable manner, and they know how to watch their language, and unlike me, they don't slip and say a bad word at all. And but people know what's at least as people get older, they realize what's going on. But those are the people who are in positions that other people aspire to get to, or that other people are subordinates to. And so it is, on the one hand, told, not taught, but told to children, be honest, do this, do that. But in everyday life, they see people succeed who are not honest. So there is this controversy, this imbalance happening within. So if you don't think your wife is great at all, and you just said that your marriage is great, there can be, as Daniel would put it, sadness turning to anger. Meaning all of a sudden you think, God, man, what did I just say? And suddenly you remember all the reasons why your marriage is anything but great. And what I'm talking about is from the perception of the person that you are talking to. I mean, as I say, there's her version, there's his version, and then there's a truth. Or, as I like to call it, they're only facts. They're only facts. And there are people who are afraid of them. Or they feel like the facts they cannot rely on their facts to get the point across. And so they need to exaggerate. I mean, it's like in everyday life, it's all the time like that. And the more you learn about statement analysis and PLETs, and the more you learn how to apply it, the more you realize just how much deception there is around you in every single day life. And I got a real nice email today that I really appreciate from somebody about who really gets it, because a lot of people do not, who really gets what is so important about intention detection, people. And your whole world, you're going to see things differently, more and more. You're going to feel distant from people that you felt kind of close to, even though inside you probably felt like there's something not right. And then you're going to appreciate more and more the people who don't have an agenda. Even though they have a career and maybe they're lawyers and they want to do, but with you, they don't have an agenda. You get them and they get you. It's rare. It's really rare. And I think that settling is so normalized that so many people, they call each other friends, but they're not. Not at all. And I always find it strange, like when a news report says like college student murdered by her best friend. You still calling her a friend after that? Yeah, maybe, I'm, a lot of people, of course, are going to tell me, oh man, you're too sensitive with that. You need to chill out, man, and just give. No, I love words. I absolutely love them when you get better at expressing exactly what it is that you want to express. And it can take some time. And again, I think in teenage years, that's where people learn not to trust themselves anymore and instead repeat what they heard elsewhere. As children, we are different. And I believe that the major change from a child to an adolescent, that the biggest change is really that we betray who we are because we believe that's what we need to do to find a place in society. What do you think? Again, let's go back to this dude, Mr. Daniel Martel. They have ups and downs like any couple. How would you personally answer the question right now? If somebody asked you about the relationship that you yourself are in, how would you answer if I asked you right now, what is your relationship now? Right now, what is your relationship? What is your relationship like? Now that you listen to me. I would have answered something like, well, it used to, I would think immediately about what could be better, but that's just me. Okay. No, it's good. I used to give answers like that. No, yeah, no, it's actually good. It's good. You know, how would you answer? Of course, it changed, right? But there are times when it's good, and I don't like to. Well, I don't want to jinx it either. But look at this. Their relationship is good. They have ups and downs like any couple. I don't care about any other couple. We care about you. We care about CPS. We care about some serious allegations here. Janie, of course, said, Malia and Daniel are having financial difficulties. Janie said she is of the opinion that Malea's side of family had something to do with it. Oh, because they did not take part in the search. Your bullshit search. First of all, if you thought that Malaya really, her family, took them to the reservation, then why the fuck did your son go to the pipeline area? Answer me this, Janie. If you really thought Malaya had something to do with it, her family, and Malaya, you, Janie, Daniel, and Darren sat together and came up with this strategy. And people still obsessed over this loser. They're still obsessed over this idiot, this nobody, scumbag. That's what he is. Making light of everything. Unbelievable. Oh, sorry, Darren. You're a good guy, I forgot. I just don't want to know about him. Well, I tell you what, people. I take it back. I take it back. I blame the people who promoted him. They're the scumbags. The people who knew there's nothing to the story. They're the ones. Otherwise, because he came to me first. The moderators didn't knew immediately. We are not, our channel people, we know how to detect deception. It was an overload. So of course he didn't get to me. I'm not going to promote somebody who's so blatantly deceptive. I'm not going to mislead people. I'm here for answers. I'm here for what I'm interested in. And that's to get the answers and share the answers as they come. So, that's not her opinion. That's something that they immediately came up with, Janie and Daniel together, the moment that Malaya left. She's making us look bad by leaving. She's giving it away by leaving. She's making it obvious Jack and Lily are not coming back. She's making it obvious that she knows they are not coming back. Let's make it seem like we still don't have a clue. And we need to blame her. Oh, wow. I guess she has something to do with it. They had some, well, otherwise it would mean that we were here and we know also what happened. No, we don't. Oh my God, she's giving us away. Let's point the finger at her. That's the only thing we can do. Why? Because they did not take part in the search. And we're not letting them see the baby. Really? She is of the opinion Malaya's side had something to do with it because they did not take part in the search and we're not letting them see Meadow. I think that would indicate that they may think that you shouldn't be around Meadow. And maybe Malaya just completely gave up on her daughter, on Lily and Jack. Maybe she gave completely up, but she maybe realized how bad Janie is with these two kids that she said, I don't want Meadow to be around her. Even though I believe that Janie would have been much, much better with Meadow than she was with Jack and Lily. Would be interesting to hear Daniel's other two children, right? What they say about Grandma. Do they miss her? Or do they say, ugh, she's weird? Thank goodness. Thank goodness we don't have to see her. Do I need to go back to the order statements again? The order reductions? Well, Malaya said that she went to police. She started feeling sick and needed medical attention. I don't believe that. I believe that she was confronted with reality and brutality of what took place. And, I talked about this before, right? But here's the crazy thing. Okay, Daniel had a falling out with Patty. That's probably why, he stayed in the car when they did laundry. And, we know about this. Malaya said he would try to block her, hold her down once he pushed, and so on and so on. Which would sometimes be physical and hurt. Really? Sometimes it's plural, okay? Sometimes it was physical and sometimes it hurt. Some of the times that he did something to her, it was physical and it hurt. What does it tell you? This is plural. This is more than once, and even though she's zooming in on the act that she can no longer deny, that he took the phone because she told Patty, and Patty probably told police, and so they figured, she figured the cat's out of the bag. And if I need to fess up to this, okay, fine. He did that to me. But she's also telling you that even though she's trying to mask, put everything under this one category here, this one event, she's trying to cram all of the feelings and experiences from the abuse under this one event because that's the only one that gotten out. She uses plural, sometimes be physical and hurt. He would also take her phone from her when she tried to call her. She didn't say, he took my phone away from me when I tried to call my mom one time. He would. All of this indicates many types of events where things would get physical and hurt. And even more times that it didn't hurt. Because this is only sometimes. What about the other times? There's a lot that Malaya is holding back, people. And there's a reason. She witnessed what happened. And she decided to be quiet. And she feels responsible, in part, because she should have protected Jack and Lily. And maybe she should have called 911 instead of saying, should I call 911? I believe there's a lot that she failed to do. I also believe that she lied to CPS many times in favor of Daniel. She protected Daniel. She didn't protect Jack and Lily. And I believe that because of that, she is scared to lose custody of Meadow. And as Logan said, Meadow, 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 Meadow. That's what sticks out to her. Daniel later said Malaya had to get blood work on Thursday, so he thought they must have done that before they went to Truro. On Thursday, they went to Truro. There's a lot I haven't gotten into yet, people. Daniel could not remember if they went to town on Wednesday or not, really. He said he had a conversation with somebody who was helping with the custody papers for his children, personal information, but he thought that was on Tuesday. Daniel said they were recently fighting about money. Yeah. There was a lot of pressure, man. And it was gonna get worse. A lot worse. I believe Daniel was mistaken when he said that's the investigator. When he said they went to Truro on Thursday. But guess what? This could indicate, people. Daniel Martell, did you go to Truro on Thursday night to get rid of Jack and Lily? I would like to have this real statement right there in front of me. Daniel, they talked about what happened on Wednesday and Thursday. Daniel initially had the days mixed up, but then confirmed through online banking on his phone that they spent Wednesday in Truro with Malaya's grandmother and went to run errands, including Malaya's blood work on Thursday. He didn't remember. They all went to Malaya's blood work appointment and got okay, but were you in Truro on Thursday? Daniel later said Malaya had to, so he thought they must have done that before they went to Truro. I mean, what the hell? This is so convoluted. What's so confusing, Daniel? Are you so busy in your life that you don't know? Is there so much happening right now? Or has there been so much happening that you just you can't keep track? Daniel could not remember if they went to town on Wednesday or not. He said he had a conversation with somebody who was helping him with the cust. Okay. He thought. He said he was in Truro on Thursday. So this is not 100% thing, but there is a possibility that was actually leakage. So when we look at where did he take the bodies of Jack and Lily, the muddy waters. Which muddy waters did you take the children to reach the international sea? Lansdowne Station. This is a power line, by the way. Power line. Did you go by the power line and then hit, where are we at here? Truro. This is Truro. The muddy waters. Look at this. And then it clears up. And there's that water and the highest tides in the world. And there's the international sea. And if the bodies reach that, they're not coming to shore. They're disappearing. So if anybody is hopeful that maybe they can make a difference and find the bodies, well, I mean, you believe what you want to believe. I listened to the statements. This is from my video called Daniel's Water References. The internet's like a sea, but lies rise to the surface the quickest. I think he got it backwards, people. I think he got it backwards. Don't fall for them. Which was once a story of two innocent children being missing. A story! The missing part is a story. There's a story of Jack and Lily. And right? It's a story. To him, it's a story. Because that's what he's been telling us. He's turned this into a story, guys. Of course, things would make a little more sense. I mean, well, no, I'm looking at Truro. I'm also looking at the other direction, but Truro, definitely. I'm definitely looking at the Bay of Fundy as well. And he had about 3 hours, a little more than 3 hours time to do what he had to do. To get back when the sun was already up. I think bring the ATV back to Earth's house. Maybe he went straight to the pipeline to make sure he could remove a couple of things that he dropped. Maybe he went, well, I talked about this before. So I can only encourage you guys not to listen to anything related to, Once a story is a now international sea of untruths. The story was that these children just went missing, but now they are in the international sea.
And as I said, it was just to paint me in a bad light. That's basically why there's all of those allegations of abuse came out. I never physically abused Malaya.
Martel says he approved of these redactions being lifted, adding not much has changed when it comes to his public reputation.
I've been, trying to keep the public up to date as much as possible. My image hasn't changed at all. It was always Daniel's evil, Daniel's a monster, and with that painted narrative, the public automatically will just jump to the belief of guilt.
He says he provided his DNA to run forensics on Lily's blanket, which was found in the woods by family members on May 2nd.
They didn't need a warrant to have my DNA, so I was willing to do it.
Yeah, you volunteered again, you see? Everything he volunteers for. Oh, I volunteered for the party. I volunteered for everything. You see? Who didn't volunteer for Malaya is the opposite. She volunteers for nothing. So this is what they're holding against Malaya. That all the things that they claim to do, she doesn't do. So look at her. That's what they're trying to tell you.
I watched them sign on the consent form. No criminal involvement in the case of Lily and Jack.
Yeah, nobody believes that anymore. And yes, looking at some of these fake accounts on Facebook, you don't want the children found, you just want Daniel to look guilty. Looks a lot like what he said about himself in third person. That's what this has always been about, making Daniel seem evil. He said, speaking about himself in the third person, he has nothing to do with the disappearance, but in the public, as long as he looks evil, the public will judge him as being guilty. So it all depends, of course, what time of day, what time of night, an hour away. Well, what time did she get there? So by car, less than an hour to Truro. I don't know, the power lines may be really, really fast. He had enough time. I'm going to let you go with this, guys.
Or a sawhorse, it's over there, was sitting here. I was sitting on it, bawling my eyes out. I was crying because I blame myself for not getting up that morning to see the kids. Because if I would have got up, this wouldn't have never happened.
Okay, so there's Fluffy, right? But is that the real Fluffy? Is that the real dog? Because now I'm paying a little bit more attention to this. I want to know what dog was actually there. Oh, wait a minute.
So this is the patio.
This is the patio door
that Jack and Lily would have.
that Jack and Lily came out of.
She's got so much cheese. Her driveway needs a pool. What did her dad
Okay, I was up at 6 o'clock, sat in there and had my
What
tea,
did he put Jack and Lily through?
and then on
They
Facebook,
said when Daddy was
7 o'clock,
arrested, they found him on the
I get up,
track.
I'm over here, fed my chickens.
In front of helicopters running, now that Janie's got a rank, Fluffy's never gonna be the same.
RV searching? Or was there something else hidden in the background lurking? How did she know where everything took place? She can lie all day and keep a straight face. Haley and Belinda remember a different dog. It's now been removed and deleted from the call log. She goes on and on about Tucker's barking, but Fluffy was quiet through the CBC's talking. How would this have stopped if she'd just gotten up? Was she raking the drive to remove the blood? Or does she look for support for her hate of Lily screaming? Drifting in and out of sleep, it is Janie who's dreaming. What if Jack ran into trouble inside of the house? And when D&M realised they sent Lily out, and when Lily started screaming, she turned a blind eye. She knew Tucker was dangerous, but she let him walk by. Piece by piece, the puzzle is revealing its picture. It's contained in the language and without conjecture. I put my Platts goggles on and examined the info, and I let the words take me wherever they would go. I watched the dots connect up to a new possibility. Tucker caused harm to precious young Lily.
My brother, Ron, called me at 8:48 and asked me if I wanted to go to town with him. And I said no. I said I'm staying home. I said I'm going back to bed. Okay, I went and I laid down. Next thing you know, a dog started barking and the kids were out in the yard. Now, you can see there's two swings where the kids play. My bedroom is right there. I heard the kids. This is where the kids' swings are. This is where they always played. That's where I heard them. And I can hear everything in that trailer. If two kids get out of a fence, and Jack and Lily are all the time yelling, especially Lily, come on, Jackie, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go, Jackie.
Right.
It's all I hear out here. When the kids get out of the fence and come out through here, I would have heard them yelling, come on, Jackie, let's go, Jackie, let's go. I didn't hear anything. The next thing I heard is I heard Daniel yelling.
Yeah.
He was yelling for Jack and Lily.
The next thing you heard.
I didn't get up because
What did you
I
hear
thought he was
first?
yelling for Jack and Lily to be in the
I
house.
thought you heard nothing. Yeah. They always give it away, people. They always tell us one way or the other.
Helicopters running now that Janie's got a right. Fluffy's never gonna be the same. Janie's BS is confusing the story. Her claims of knowledge are banal and boring. And what about the cars of the Pipeline Boys? Haley said Chance's car made a lot of noise. And it was black, maybe 6-speed explains a 5. Didn't need gear 6 on that fateful night. Even Haley's story keeps chopping and changing. Protecting Malaya by rearranging. Did she see Danny doing rugs in the bathroom? She's trying to walk it back, but her words leave no Did Danny really hear the kids getting marched out the front? Was her search in the woods just a PR stunt? Is she the dumbest person alive in this world? She believed that her lies will never unfurl. Doing Facebook Lives, this has gone beyond silly. Not a nice word to say about Jack or Lily. The bitter old angry trite hillbilly. Jack and Lily were the focus of Janie's attention. I wouldn't write these songs, I would not need to mention that victim blaming is the trait of the family. As the truth burns a hole in her manifest destiny. She obstructs the justice and becomes an accessory. Of two missing children long after the fact, she has made a choice from which there's no walking back.
So, the next thing you know, I was come out of the trailer after I heard Daniel. I'd say 10 minutes after I heard him, I come out of the trailer. I opened up the door.
And?
Was standing here.
And?
Malaya was standing.
And?
Right here. With Meadow on her hip.
Yeah.
And I come out. And I said, what's up? She said, Jack and Lily are missing. I said, how long? She said, about 20 minutes. I closed the door, got my boots on, came out here, ran up in the woods. Just right up here.
So this is the dog that we have been seeing. A little black and white dog. This one.
Yeah.
Seems mild-mannered. So did she have a different dog before that was really, really aggressive? Meaning a dog that right now, if he was there instead of this one, would be almost on attack of the intruders in the house, because I don't see this one being, you know what I mean?
And so tell us why we've heard about the patio door.
Because everybody's saying on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok that the patio door makes a noise.